Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I'll be solving aptitude questions for placements. This is a sample test paper for Wipro technical placements. Now let's get into the video. Now let's start solving the questions. There are 16 questions here. I will be taking 20 minutes in solving because I have to explain it to you. But your target is to solve these 16 questions in 12 minutes. You should not take more than 3/4 of a minute to solve the questions that are related to placement exams. Okay, so now let's quickly start solving them. A garrison has enough food for 120 soldiers for 42 days. After 12 days, 30 new soldiers join the garrison. Now, food will last for how many days? Beginning with the day of arrival of new soldiers. Here, the amount of food available is sufficient for 120 soldiers for 42 days. We will find out per soldiers per day's food requirement. Okay. Let us assume there is one container full of food. This is eaten by 120 people. This is divided for 120 soldiers and that lasts for 42 days. This is the amount of food. Let's consider the entire amount of food as one container. This container is divided into 120 into 42 parts and each part is required by one soldier per day. So this is the one soldiers per day requirement. Now we'll write the equation. So one soldier requires 1 by 120 into 40 amount of food per day and there are 120 soldiers. This is 1 day's consumption of food by 120 soldiers and like this 12 days goes, right? 12 days this 120 soldiers are consuming the food. Next is the same per day's food requirement is same. This is one soldier's 1 day's requirement into there are 150 people now because 30 new soldiers are added. There are 150 people now and this food lasts for X days. We don't know how much it is. This food lasts for X days. So this is equal to that one complete container of food. Now we will simplify this. We've taken LCM here. Now we will take the denominator to the RHS. You get 120 into 42 which is 5040. Now 150x is equal to 5040 minus 1440, that gives you 3600. So x is 3600 divided by 150, that gives you 24 days. Okay, so the answer is 24 days. Now let's move to the next question. A train passes by a stationary man in 8 seconds and passes by platform completely in 32 seconds. Okay, so we have two cases here. So let's write down both the cases. I've already made a video on problems on trains. If you have not yet watched it, I have clearly explained the formula, how to use the formula for all types of questions. If you have not yet watched, I suggest you to watch that video also. I have mentioned the video's link in the description and the link is also appearing above the screen right now. Okay, so you can click on the link and you can watch the video wherein I have explained all types of questions that are based on trains. Now this type of question we have already solved in that video. If you have seen that video, you will know how to solve this question. So time taken is length by relative speed. So length of the train divided by speed. Here time taken is 8 seconds. Okay, 8 seconds is equal to length of the train by speed. From this I can write length as 8s. Now I'll consider the platform. So in the second case, time taken is length of the train plus length of the platform divided by speed of train. So the time taken in this case is 32 seconds. Length of the train is not known, which is what we are supposed to find. Length of platform is given to be 270 meters. divided by S. Now I'll use this result. Length of the train is equal to 8 into S. This result I'll use in this equation to solve. So S goes to LHS, you get 32S equals to, what is L? In place of L, I'll write 8S plus 270. So 32 minus 8 is 24S equals to 270. So S is 270 by 24. What am I supposed to find? Length of the train. So this S I'll substitute here. 8 into, what is S? 270 by 24. So 8 3s are 24, 3 90s are 270. So the answer is 90 meters. Now let's go to the next question. From salary of an officer, 10% gets deducted as house rent, 20% he spends on education, 10% on clothing. After his expenses, he is left over with rupees 14580. Find his income. So this is a question based on successive percentage. So I have explained percentage factor in another video. If you have not yet watched the video, please go through that. So as per percentage factor, I'll just quickly tell you what it is. If there is a 10% deduction, or if there is a 10% profit or 10% increment, something like that, when there is a percentage increase, we add or subtract that percentage to 1. Here 10% gets deducted. It means 10% in decimal is 0.1. It gets deducted means it is subtracted from 1. Okay, this is percentage factor for 10% reduction. Next, 20% he spends on children's education. So spending is again reducing, right? So 20% reduction is 1 minus 0.2, which is 0.8. And 10% he spends on clothing. That is again 0.9. Okay, this is successive percentage. So 10% gets deducted as house rent allowance. If 10% is gone, remaining is 90%, and that is 0.9. You can understand it this way also. Into 20% he spends on children's education. So if 20% goes, then remaining will be 80%, that is written as 0.8, into 10% is spent on clothing. Again, if 10% is spent, remaining is 90%. Always whenever such questions are given, don't add all the percentages, because from salary 10% is deducted. He receives 90% of salary only. In that 90%, he is spending 20%. So you should always multiply these percentage factors. Of his salary is equal to, after all this is done, what is left out? 14,580 rupees is left out. Okay, so salary is 14,580 divided by, I don't like decimals, so what I do is I remove the decimal. When I am removing decimal, I have to multiply 10 or 100 based on number of digits after the decimal point. That many whatever I do multiplication in the denominator, the same thing has to be done in the numerator also. So I am supposed to write 0.9 into 0.8 into 0.9 here, right? So I am not writing it, I am just writing the numbers. How many digits here I have eliminated after decimal point is 3 digits. So I have to multiply here with 10 3 times. Now I'll cancel this. We get 180 by 8 into 1000 after dividing the number by both the 9s in the denominator. Now I'll divide this by 2. 2 90s are, 2 4s are. Now this is 250. So now the answer is 22,500. Okay, this is the option. Now let's go to the next question. Price of cooking oil has increased by 25%. What percent of reduction? Okay, so this I have already shared in my WhatsApp group. So if you are part of my WhatsApp group or my Telegram channel, then you will already be knowing the formula for this. So to solve this type of question, it's there is a standard formula. So the answer here is, or percentage reduction. the percentage of reduction of consumption or increase in consumption, doesn't matter. So your answer, required percentage. So let's write it as required percentage is equal to, what is the change in percentage? 25%, right? So write 25 here, divide this by percentage factor. What is the percentage factor? When there is an increase, add 0.25 to 1. When there is a decrease, subtract 0.25 from 1. Here there is an increase of 25%, add 0.25 to 1. Okay, so this is your answer. Whatever answer you get, this is the percentage. Here again I don't want this decimal, so I'll remove the decimal. There are 2 digits after decimal point, meaning I have to multiply 100 here in the denominator as well as in the numerator. So 25 5s are 125 and this is 20. So your answer is 20%. It means since the cooking oil price has increased by 25%, the family has to reduce the consumption by 20% to keep the budget same. Right. So the next question is, if Lance Armstrong cycles at 10 km per hour, he arrives at a certain destination at 1 p.m. If he cycles at 15 km per hour, he'll arrive at the same place at 11 a.m. At what speed must he cycle to get there by noon? So wherever we have 3 quantities like this, speed is equal to distance by time. Okay. Here the formula that we use is speed is equal to distance by time. And when one of the quantity is constant, then the other two will change. This is called as product constancy rule or constant product rule. This also I have explained in my time, speed and distance video, which is also uploaded a few weeks back. You can go through our channel and you can watch that video. I have explained all the types of these questions in detail. Okay, so here distance is equal to speed into time. If you observe in this question, the distance is same. He starts from some place and arrives at some destination. The same place only we are considering, but different speed is what we are considering here. So the distance remains same. So since there is a distance same, then S1 and T1, this is the product. Since distance is same, we consider this product for our product constant product rule. So as per constant product rule, S1 into T1 is equal to S2 into T2. Okay. So what is the first speed? 10 kilometers. Into what is the time? We don't know. We'll just write it as T1. What is second speed? 15 kilometers. Into what is second time? See, when he travels at 10 km per hour speed, he reaches the destination at afternoon 1 o'clock. Okay. If he travels the same distance at a different speed, he reaches the destination at 11 a.m. itself, which is 2 hours before. So, how much ever time he takes in the first case, he is taking 2 hours lesser in the second case. So, T2 is T1 minus 2. Now simplify this, you will get the value of T2. So this is 10 T1. Here we get 15 T1 minus 30. On simplification, we get 5 T1 equals to 30. So T1 equals to 6 hours. Okay. Means in the first case, that is when the speed is 10 km per hour, the person who is cycling takes 6 hours to reach the destination. Now, what is the question? If he has to reach there by noon, means by 12 o'clock, then at what speed he should cycle? We will use the same rule again. S1 T1 equals to, we have already taken S2 T2, let's take S3 T3. Doesn't matter what suffixes you take here. Now what is the first speed? 10 into, what's the first time taken? 6 hours. What is the speed in which he has to travel to reach there at 12 o'clock is a question. So S3 is what we are supposed to find into what is time? It is 5 hours, because in the first case he's taking 6 hours for traveling. He's reaching at 1 o'clock. So in the next case he is supposed to reach at 12 o'clock, means 1 hour before. So the time taken should be 1 hour less. So what is S3 now? Here we cancel 12. So speed should be 12 kilometer per hour to reach the destination at noon at 12 o'clock. So the answer is option A. Right. So next we'll see our so this is our next question. 6 bells commence tolling together and toll at intervals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12 seconds respectively. In 30 minutes, how many times they toll together is the question. Okay. To solve this type of questions, we have to take LCM of all the given numbers because these bells ring at common intervals. When all the bells ring together is at the common multiple of all the numbers. So we need to take LCM of all the given numbers. Okay. So how to take LCM? Each number, write it as product of prime factors raised to some powers if it is required, and then collect the prime factors. So we'll see how to find the LCM. 2, we write it as 2. 4 is 2 square. 6 is 2 into 3. 8 is 2 cube. 10 can be written as 2 into 5. 12 is written as 4 into 3, where 4 is 2 square. Okay, 2 square into 3. Now, how to write LCM? From these factors, these are the prime factors of the given numbers. From the prime factors, write down each unique prime factor. We have 2, 3 and 5. These are the 3 different numbers available here. For each number, take which is the highest power. For 2, 2 cube is present, that is the highest. For 3 and 5, it is just 1 power only. Okay. So this is the LCM, 8 into 15, which is 120, and since these are seconds, 120 seconds is the LCM of the given numbers. So 120 seconds means it is 2 minutes. Okay. Every 2 minutes, all the 6 bells ring simultaneously. All the 6 bells toll together. Okay. So all 6 bells toll together every 2 minutes. Okay. Now totally how many minutes have they given? 30 minutes, right? So for 30 minutes, how many times does it toll? Every 2 minutes it tolls, right? For 30 minutes, 2 into 15 gives you 30. So in 30 minutes, 15 times all the 6 bells ring simultaneously. Now 15 is one of the options, but is that the answer? No, because 6 bells commence tolling together. So at the beginning, that is at 0 seconds, at the beginning, all the 6 bells have rang once. Then every 2 minutes and 4 minutes the bells keep tolling. Okay, so in 30 minutes, 15 times the bells toll together, and in the beginning, one time, that is at the time of commencement, once it is rang, right? So the answer is option D, 16. Be careful with the questions. Slightly confusing or slightly misleading questions will be there. Here, most of the students will mark 15 as the answer. The answer is 16 because in the beginning itself, the bells toll once. Okay, so let's see the next question. There are 5 doors to a lecture room. In how many ways can student? This is a very simple permutation based question. There are 5 doors. So to enter a room, there are 5 ways. And for exit, he can use any door except the door through which he entered. So for exit, there are 4 different ways. So number of ways is 5 into 4, 20 is the answer. A batsman makes a score of 87 runs in 17th match. Thus increases his average by 3. Find his average before 17th match. So this type of question also we have discussed before. Okay. So here change in sum. So here change in sum is change in average into number of values. I've already given this formula. So what is the change in average? Average increases by 3. Change in average is 3 into number of values is there are 17 matches. So this gives you 51. Okay, this is change in sum. This 51 is the extra runs scored above the existing average. Okay, so what is the previous average? It is a new score or new value minus change in sum. Okay, that is the excess value, excess score, extra runs, whatever. So new score is 87 minus what is the change? 51. This 51 was divided among all those 17 values. So this gives you 36. So 36 is the previous average. What is the new average? Average increases by 3, isn't it? So new average is 39. So this previous average means before 17th match is the question. Means what was the average for the previous 16 matches? So that was 36. If they ask you what is his average after 17th match or what is his new average, then the answer will be 39. Now this question is based on combinations. A bag contains 2 red, 3 green and 2 blue balls. 2 balls are drawn at random. What is the probability that none of the balls drawn is blue? So here the probability is given by, we have to take 2 balls. These 2 balls can be both red or both green or one red and one green also, but they cannot be blue. Even one ball cannot be blue. None of the balls drawn is blue. So we ignore this blue balls. We select 2 balls only from this red and green category. So how many balls do we have? 2 red and 3 green. So we have 5 balls. Out of that we need 2. Okay, this is 5C2 divided by, this is a favorable outcomes, divided by what is the total outcomes? 2 plus total balls. 2 plus 3 plus 2 is 7. 7C2. This is a total balls. So 5C2 is 10 and 7C2 is 21. So the answer is option A. Now let's solve the next question. ITC sells one product at a profit of 20%, another at a loss of 20% at the same selling price. What is the loss incurred by ITC? So this is again a standard question. Whenever there are 2 products, selling price of 2 products are same, but in one product they make a profit of X% and in another product they make a loss of same percentage, then always there is a loss incurred. Okay, always there is a loss incurred, and that loss percentage is, take this percentage 20 square, divide that by 100. This is your answer. Okay, so there is a profit and there is a loss on another product. Both this profit and loss percentages are same. So when both are same, this is a standard formula used. You will never get a profit, it's always a loss. The percentage of loss is calculated by square of this percentage divided by 100. So 400 by 100 is 4%. Okay, so the answer is 4% loss. So the next question is based on ratios. 6 men, 8 women and 6 children complete a job for a sum of 950 rupees. If their individual wages are in the ratio 4:3:2, how total money earned by children is what you are supposed to find. So wages ratio for man, woman and the child is 4:3:2. It means salary of man or wages of man is 4x rupees, wages of women is 3x rupees and wages of children is 2x rupees. And how many men are working? Total wages. 6 men are working. So 6 into 4x. This step you have to skip when you are solving it. I am just writing so that you have to understand. So when you actually solve, you will have to skip this step. Directly write down the next step. 6 men, each person gets 4x rupees as salary, so 6 into 4x. 8 women are there, each woman gets 3x as wages, plus 6 children are there, each child gets 2x as the wages. Now add all this is 24x plus 24x plus 12x, okay, and this total is equal to 950 rupees. You will have to find out what is the total money earned by the children. You have to find out how much is 12x. Add all this, then divide the 950 by 50 by 60, you will get the value of x, and then multiply it with 12, or you can take children's wage. Total is 24 plus 24, 48 plus 12, 60. Total is 60x, total wages. Out of this, 12x is children's wage into 950. This also gives you the answer. 0 gets cancelled. 6 2s are 12. 2 into 95 is 190 rupees. So option B is the answer. So this is our next question. It is based on simple interest. A sum was put at simple interest at a certain rate for 3 years. Had it been put at 2% higher rate, it would have fetched 360 more. This higher percentage will give more interest. Okay, difference in the interest is 360 rupees. We know simple interest formula. Simple interest formula is PTR by 100, right? So here, what is the first case? There is certain amount of money. It is invested for 3 years at certain rate of interest. We don't know what is the rate of interest. So interest earned is P into 3 into R by 100. Suppose he had invested it at 2% higher rate, they would have got more interest. Difference between these two interests is 360. So I'll subtract this from principal amount invested for 3 years at 2% higher rate. So R plus 2 divided by 100. So this is the interest earned in case of increased interest. This is the interest earned in case of less rate of interest. This difference is 360. Okay, you can simplify this and you can get the answer. So here we have 3p into R plus 2. Here just 3pr. We'll multiply 3p into R is 3pr. 3p into 2 is 6p minus 3pr. Whole thing divided by 100, I'll take it to RHS. 360 into 100. So 3pr and minus 3pr gets cancelled. So 6p is 36,000. So p is 6,000 rupees. So option D is the answer. Now next question. This question is slightly tricky. Try to understand it clearly. So now let's solve this question. Number of oranges in 3 baskets are in the ratio 3:4:5. Now what is the original ratio? 3:4:5. This is the original ratio. Now I need to add some quantity to the first and second basket, so that the ratio becomes 5:4:3. Okay, understand here. First ratio is 3:4:5. I need to add certain oranges only to first and second basket. Not equal number of oranges, the different number of oranges I need to add. After adding, it will become 5:4:3. But if you observe, no change is made here. Okay, no change is made for the third basket. So number of oranges in the previous case and after changing is going to be same. So we make this number same. Here these two numbers are not same. We'll just multiply this entire ratio by 5 and this ratio I'll multiply by 3, so that the last number is same, because we are adding oranges only to the first and second basket. Third basket has the same number of oranges before and after. Okay, so I'll add here. So this becomes 9, 12, 15, and here it's going to be 25, 20 and 15. Okay, so now after multiplying 5, see now this is same. we are adding certain number of oranges to the first and second basket so that it becomes this ratio. So what is to be added? For this 9, I need to add 16 oranges to make it 25. For this 12, I need to add 8 oranges to make it 20. So number of oranges that is to be added to the first basket is 16 and number of oranges to be added to the second basket is 8. So that after adding this many oranges to first and second basket, then the number of oranges will be in this ratio. So what is the answer? 2:1. Okay, this is the answer. Now let's solve the 14th question. This is a percentage based question. It's quite simple question. If a man marks his goods 40% higher than the cost price and allows a discount of 20%, find his net gain. So I had told in many of my previous videos, if the question, options, everything is in terms of percentage, then you can consider the base quantity as 100. So take cost price as 100 rupees. Okay. Market price is 40% higher than the cost price. Means the MRP, market price is 40% higher. We add 40% of 100, which is 40, that we add. So market price on the product is 140. And then we are allowing a discount of 20%. So what is the discount? 20% of market price. 20% of this is 28 rupees. Now if we subtract this, we get the selling price. So selling price is 1112. Okay. Now cost price was 100, selling price was 112. So difference is the profit percentage. Difference gives you profit percentage. So the answer is 12%. Okay, very simple question. Shouldn't take you more than 15 seconds. Okay, so we'll solve our next question. Read the question carefully. On an escalator, it took me 30 seconds and 26 steps to reach the bottom. However, if I am able to step down 34 stairs, I would only require 18 seconds to go to bottom. How many steps were there in the escalator when it was idle? So time taken and number of steps is what you need to compare here. So in the first case, he is getting down 26 steps and it took 30 seconds for him. In the second case, he is getting down 34 stairs. So what is the difference in number of stairs? So number of stairs difference is 34 minus 26. That gives you 8. Okay, 8 stairs. And he is taking only 18 seconds. Means how much he has saved? Time saved is 12 seconds. Understood? If he gets down 26 steps, he requires 30 seconds. If he gets down 8 steps extra, then he is saving 12 seconds. Means for that 8 steps, extra 12 seconds it took. Okay, so for 8 steps, it took 12 seconds. Now, find out how much time it takes for 30 seconds and you have to add that to this 26 steps to find out how many steps were there. Okay, so you can either use first case or second case. You know that to get down 8 steps, it takes 12 seconds. Once you know this, you take the first case wherein find out how many steps are can be done in 30 seconds and then add 26 to it, or find out how many stairs he can get down in 8 seconds and 18 seconds and then add it to 34. Anything is, both are same. So for 12 seconds, he can get down 8 stairs. Okay. So for 30 seconds, how much stairs he can get down? 8 by 12 into 30. 4 2s are and 4 3s are. Now 3 10 is 20. 20 stairs. Okay. See, in the first case, 30 seconds and 26 steps. He gets down 26 steps. Further, he still takes 30 seconds. So if he doesn't get down or if the escalator is idle, then it takes 26 steps plus 20 stairs. So number of stairs or number of steps is, we are taking the first case. As per first case, 26 steps plus this 30 seconds is equal to 20 steps, right? So 46 steps is the answer. Now we'll solve the last question of this video. I think this type of question also I have already solved it in one of the previous videos. In a mixture of 63 liters, milk and water are in the ratio 7:2. So milk is, I have told you, whenever there is a mixture, we consider milk is 7 out of total. Okay, and water is 2 out of total. 1 liter is divided into 9 parts. Out of that, 7 parts is milk and 2 parts is water. This is for every liter. And now how many liters of mixture we have? 63 liters of mixture is there. 9 sevens are 63. So this gives you 49 liters of milk and 14 liters of water. Okay, this is for 63 liters. Next, we are adding 7 liters to it. Okay, so when we add 7 liters, it becomes 70 liters, and we are adding only water. So this becomes 21 liters. Milk remains same. So what is the new milk is to water ratio? Milk is 49 liters. Water is increased 21 liters. Okay. Now we can cancel this by 7. 7 sevens are and 7 threes are 21. So the answer is 7:3. So now we have come to the end of this video. We will be creating more videos for many placement exams of various companies, both technical as well as non-technical placements, and we will also be creating videos for coding, programming skills and technical interviews based on coding. So if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you have liked it. Also share it with your friends. If you have any queries, if you have any particular topics you want us to solve, please mention that in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you all. Take care. Bye bye.